This presentation is going to showcase the new features and enhancements that VMware is introducing in vSAN 6.7. The rapid pace of innovation in vSAN has played a vital part to it becoming the leader in HCI in 2016. vSAN 6.7 marks the fourth release since 2016 and has key partnerships with two of the four largest cloud providers, Amazon Web Services and IBM. Data centers powered by VMware vSAN offer scalability, flexibility, and manageability to meet nearly every demand. vSAN 6.7 introduces a number of key features. To help evolve IT with HCI, the improvements of vSAN 6.7 are focused on three key areas: an intuitive operations experience, a consistent application experience, and a holistic support experience. Ease of use drives productivity and helps administrators operate and optimize an environment in a predictable manner. VMware vSAN 6.7 takes significant steps in providing an intuitive operations experience that is aligned with many other products in the VMware portfolio. Let's take a look at some of these new features and enhancements. vSAN 6.7 introduces a new HTML5 UI based on the Clarity framework seen in other VMware products and solutions. Note that the new interface is not just a direct port over from the old Flex client. VMware took a long look at how tasks and workflows can be optimized and introduced new, more efficient ways to accomplish tasks. The HTML5 interface is a great step forward in providing vSAN users an intuitive user experience. In the past, using VMware vRealize operations with vSAN meant that an administrator had to use two separate interfaces. A new feature known as vRealize operations within vCenter now provides an easy way for customers to see vRealize operations dashboards directly in the HTML5 vSphere web client. vCenter features a plugin that enables a user to easily deploy and configure a new vRealize operations instance or to simply connect an existing instance. The integrated nature of vRealize operations within vCenter also allows the user to easily launch the full vRealize operations user interface to see the full collection of dashboards. vSAN 6.7 expands the flexibility of the vSAN ISCSI service to support Windows Server failover clusters. vSAN already natively supports modern clustering technologies such as Microsoft SQL Always-On Availability Groups and Microsoft Exchange Database Availability Groups. For scenarios in which an organization has Windows Server failover clusters in a physical or virtual configuration, vSAN supports the shared target storage locations using the vSAN ISCSI service and in-guest ISCSI initiators. This enables data center administrators to run workloads using legacy clustering technologies on vSAN. A platform that delivers a consistent application experience is critical to meeting performance and availability requirements for an organization. Let's take a look at how vSAN 6.7 makes improvements in this area. Distributed storage systems are responsible for serving up front-end VM storage I/O and back-end I/O. The back-end I/O includes vSAN Resync I/O, and this is commonly related to ensuring data is compliant with assigned storage policies. vSAN 6.7 introduces a new adaptive resync feature to ensure fair allocation of resources are available for VM I/O and Resync I/O during dynamic changes in load on the system. When storage I/O exceeds the capabilities of the bandwidth provided, the adaptive resync feature guarantees a level of bandwidth to ensure specific traffic types are not starved for resources. Adaptive resync also allows more bandwidth to be used during periods in which VM I/O and Resync I/O are not contending for resources. This provides an optimal use of resources and more predictable performance. VMware is always looking for ways to not only improve the performance of vSAN, but improve the consistency of its performance so that applications can meet their service level requirements. vSAN 6.7 continues this drive for better performance and consistency through optimizations made in the data path. vSAN 6.7 optimizes the destaging mechanism, resulting in data that drains more quickly from the write buffer to the capacity tier. The ability to destage this data more quickly allows for the buffer tier to be available to accept new incoming I/O, which will reduce periods of congestion. Most importantly, this optimization provides a positive impact for not only VM I/O, but all resynchronization traffic as well. Replica consolidation takes an intelligent component-level view of an object and will consolidate the components in such a way to where it can satisfy, if possible, the request to free up a fault domain to enter it into maintenance mode. The key takeaway of this feature is that vSAN provides more intelligence behind data movement to reduce the time and effort it takes to enter a host into maintenance mode. Less data movement means faster decommissioning and reduced consumption of temporary space. The Replica consolidation feature continues the improvements with host decommissioning that were introduced in vSAN 6.6. vSAN 6.7 improves the space efficiency of the swap object assigned to each VM. In past versions of vSAN, while other objects were thin provision by default, the VM swap object had a default setting of thick provision and did not inherit any settings from the assigned storage policy. This could introduce a substantial capacity hit with environments that host a lot of VMs with large amounts of assigned memory. In vSAN 6.7, the swap object is now thin provision by default and will also match the storage policy attributes assigned to the VM. This improvement will decrease the effective storage capacity used in a vSAN environment. Some environments have a requirement to use multiple VMK NICs tagged for vSAN traffic. While this has been a supported topology, there were opportunities for improvements in how vSAN failed over to the other VMK NIC in the event of a network connection failure. New logic is introduced in vSAN 6.7 that dramatically improves the failover of vSAN traffic from one VMK NIC to another. This improvement further enhances the resilience of vSAN. For organizations implementing a vSAN stretch cluster, vSAN 6.7 introduces a new way to fully isolate vSAN data traffic from vSAN witness traffic. Specifying a specific VMK NIC for witness traffic on each ISCSI host in the cluster ensures vSAN data does not traverse the witness traffic link, typically a WAN connection, when there is a failure of the high-speed connection between the data sites. This enhancement eases stretch cluster design and implementation. vSAN 6.7 also improves failure handling of complex outage conditions in a vSAN stretch cluster environment. This enhancement addresses a scenario in which the preferred site is isolated and vSAN properly fails over to the secondary site. If the vSAN witness host reconnects to the preferred site, vSAN 6.7 will track the fitness of the preferred site and maintain the secondary site as the active site until the inter-site link is back up. Addressing all possible failure conditions is an important element of vSAN to provide a robust active-active data center topology. In a stretch cluster environment, optimizing the use of inter-site bandwidth is imperative for a highly efficient active-active data center. vSAN 6.7 introduces a technique for reducing the amount of data transmitted across the sites when recovering from site failure events. A single copy of the data is sent across the inter-site link and then replicated within the site for local redundancy. Reducing the amount of data transmitted across sites improves resynchronization times and uses less resources. A holistic support experience builds confidence with an organization's ongoing operational activities and future plans for growth. Providing both proactive and reactive intelligent insight into the potential cause of issues assures data center administrators that they can focus on delivering application services to their internal and external customers. vSAN continues to grow smarter about your infrastructure and provides even more health checks with vSAN 6.7. More than 50 new and existing health checks help ensure an environment is configured and running properly. vSAN is now able to feed additional health-related information gathered with vSAN Support Insight and provide the results of these health checks under the on-premises checks in the vSAN UI in vCenter. Continuous improvements to the health check framework eases vSAN implementation and operations. In particular, vSAN 6.7 introduces new health checks focused on the host status and configuration consistency of the hosts across the cluster. Consistent configuration leads to stability. vSAN 6.7 also enhances existing health checks to simplify the process of determining the cause of a health check alert. An example of this is the improvement to the HCL check, where firmware checks are now independent from the driver check for a device. vSAN Support Insight improves the customer experience by proactively providing VMware Global Support Services, GSS, with data about a customer's vSAN and vSphere environment. This data is anonymized and then uploaded to the VMware Analytics Cloud, where it's converted to useful information such as configuration items, performance, and health status. As a result, GSS can begin troubleshooting sooner when less time is spent on gathering this data. In any type of support incident, persistent diagnostics partitions are a critical factor for Global Support Services, GSS, to properly diagnose the issue. This diagnostic partition, known as coredump, is automatically created when using traditional storage devices such as SSD or HDD. vSAN also needs a larger coredump partition than the default size. vSAN 6.7 now brings more intelligence to this matter by automatically resizing the coredump partitions on the USB SD media if there's free space on the devices. This offers users more flexibility when using various types of boot devices. The storage industry is moving toward advanced format devices to provide more capacity and drive down the cost per gigabyte. vSphere is extending support for advanced format drives and support for 4KN drives and LUNs. This offers the customer the option to purchase these new 4KN devices with the confidence that they are supported by vSphere and vSAN. vSAN takes an important step forward with improved security in vSphere 6.7 by achieving FIPS 140-2 validation. Since vSAN is integrated into the hypervisor, it uses the vSphere kernel module with FIPS 140-2 validation. Organizations that require this level of validation can be confident that VMware vSphere and vSAN enables them to meet their security requirements. In summary, vSAN 6.7 makes significant improvements in intuitive operations, consistent application, and holistic support experiences. As the demands of a data center grows, these are the pillars that play a key part in vSAN's viability to meet the demands of organizations around the globe. There are some steps you can take to learn more about vSAN and vSAN-powered HCI solutions. First, if you need assistance determining your requirements for HCI, your organization can sign up for a free vSAN assessment. This is a tool our team can help you load to get a clear understanding of your environment and to develop specific recommendations. If you simply want to play around with the solution a bit, then we have a free online hands-on lab available. StorageHub.vmware.com features a number of technical resources that range from design and sizing to operational considerations. We encourage you to start planning your upgrade to vSAN 6.7 today to take advantage of the new features and benefits we just discussed. Thank you.